Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. It has been a rainy day here. The creek is overflowed its banks, and pardon me, our backyard looks like a river ran through it. But we're thankful for the rain, and we needed to recover from that drought that we had this summer, and slowly but surely we're getting some improvement, and we're thankful for that. I know that some of you were under the gun for some storms, and I hope and pray that you are doing better. And we're inching closer to Christmas. I hope everyone is having a good time visiting with family and doing all the fun activities that are associated with this time of year. And I know tomorrow night we go and make the candy bags that we do traditionally every year for our church and for our neighbors that are shut in and not able to come to church. And it's like the candy bags that everybody remembers from childhood. If you've went to church in a country church long enough, I guarantee that you have gotten a bag that has apples and oranges in it, and usually hard candy. Ours has those plus peanut brittle and orange slices and the old-fashioned hard candies, and chocolate drops. But this year the source that we get our chocolate drops from was already sold out. So anyway, we'll be going tomorrow night and spending some time in fellowship with our church family and putting those Christmas bags together for everyone, and we're looking forward to being able just to hug everyone's neck and wish everyone merriest of Christmases, and we hope that all of you are having fun and making those plans too. But I was thinking about the Christmas story and thinking about how the Christmas story is the same all throughout the land, and people are having programs at their churches, and I've thought about all of the different programs we've had down through the years, and most of them were we would have a little play, and it usually would end with the telling of the Nativity, with the little kids, the little tiny kids, usually dressed up as sheep and donkeys and cows and little piggies and all of the little animals that might have been around in the barnyard. I don't know about piggies, but still, it would usually end that way. And I was thinking about how fun down through the years it was to put those programs together, and so how stressful it could be sometimes when you have kids going in different directions and you're trying to get costumes on them and trying to make sure that they know their parts and when they're supposed to come in and when they're supposed to exit the stage and all that. But it's all worth it to tell the Christmas story. And today I was thinking about the Christmas story and how Mary must have felt when she received visitation and received the news that she was going to be carrying this baby, and how she must have felt knowing that she was to be married, and she had never been in a relationship, and that all of the things that was going to take place in her life very shortly. And the telling in Luke chapter 2 goes down through and tells all of the things about them traveling to Bethlehem, and how it came her time to give birth, and it was just her and Joseph. Her mama wasn't there with her. There wasn't other ladies around there with her. There wasn't definitely a doctor or nurses or anyone to assist her at all. It was her, and wasn't in a hospital. She was in the stable, laid that baby, that precious little baby, in a manger, wrapped him in swaddling clothes. The chapter goes on to tell about the shepherds and the angels and all of the different parts that are moving parts of the Christmas play that we are involved in every year. Luke chapter 2 verse 19 tells us that Mary pondered those things in her heart. The things that had happened all from the time she found out that she was going to be with child, and she was going to have this special baby, and all of the events that happened after that, telling Joseph, and traveling to Bethlehem and having the baby and all of the things that happened, and running into Elizabeth and the baby that we later was John the Baptist leaped in her tummy, and just all of the different things that she got to experience. The Bible says that she pondered them in her heart. Ponder means to think on or reflect deeply. And I like knowing that Mary pondered, because I like to ponder things too. I like to take those things that I'm faced with on a daily basis and think about those things. Now, that doesn't mean that I dwell on things and I let anger and all of these things arise, but I think on them and I consider them carefully before I make a decision. Later on in chapter 2, verse 51 tells us of the time that Jesus traveled with his parents to observe the Feast of Passover. When they were leaving this city, Mary and Joseph realized that Jesus wasn't with them, and they went back. They found him teaching in the temple. Now, Mary questioned why, but there wasn't any anger, and there wasn't any him getting in trouble or anything like that. He was just doing his Father's business. And the Bible tells us in that verse that Mary hid those things and treasured them, pondered them, treasured them in her heart. Now, I was thinking about that. I thought how quickly things get escalated in this life because we don't ponder, we don't consider things, we don't really think about them before sometimes we jump and we make a harsh or a rash decision. We say something that can't be taken back. We hurt somebody. We cancel someone out. That's the biggest thing this day and age. And if we just took a little bit of time to ponder a situation, not be so quick to think that somebody was out to get us when they said something, to realize that maybe they were having a bad day. Now, it doesn't always excuse bad behavior, but people are worried and people are short-tempered and have a short fuse because they're worried about making ends meet and making their budgets stretch, taking care of their families, their children, making sure that their needs are met, they're able to live day to day, and putting gas in their vehicles and paying their bills and taking care of their medical needs. And all of these things are real things. And sometimes they react to us in an ugly way. Well, I think that if we would be cautious and we would ponder and we would consider all of the things before we made a decision, wow, how much better would we be? Not just with dealing with people on day-to-day basis, but when we vote, if we pondered and we considered all the things that would be affected. On purchases, when we go to buy things, impulse buying, if we pondered those things, we considered those things. I'm a person that packaging catches me. If they have good packaging, good marketing, it catches my eye, I have to admit. And sometimes I have been guilty of purchasing something just because the packaging looked really good. And I have been deceived or disappointed or let down because it wasn't what it seemed. I judged a book by its cover and got something and been disappointed when I really seen what was on the inside. When I think about Mary and all of the things that she had to ponder, I think about, wow, she had some big things. And we have some big things in our lives to consider and to ponder. You know, it would be a sad thing to go through this life and never have any happy things to look back on. Mary, she hid those things. And we need to do that too. Think about your children and your grandchildren and how fast they grow up and they move off. And I have told Cheyenne this. She'll be talking about the boys, and she'll say, I can't wait till they're this, or I can't wait till they do this. And I tell her, I say, boy, it goes by fast. You'll blink your eyes, and tomorrow they'll be graduating from high school. Now, I know some people chuckle at that, And we know in reality that's not really what really happens, but it goes by fast. My granny always told me, the older you get, the faster it goes. And I believe her. Seems like it's just sped up faster and faster and faster. So this Christmas season, I would challenge you guys right now, and all of the good things are happening. We're going caroling. We're taking our kids and grandkids to see the Christmas lights. We're visiting with family members, maybe making a batch of homemade cookies or other treats like little Chloe told me she's been doing. So enjoy the time that you're spent together and hide that, ponder that in your heart where you can look back on that and you can remember the good things. I guarantee you there'll come a time in your life that someone that you love very much is not with you anymore. And if you've hid those things, if you've pondered those things, if you've treasured them away, they'll come back to your remembrance. And it'll be a joyful thing. It'll be a happy thing. She pondered those things. Don't you know, throughout his lifetime, when he started his public ministry, that Mary remembered how it was to hold him. The song, Mary, Did You Know? Can you imagine her looking back on life when Jesus went through all of the things he did and suffered and was crucified? Can you imagine all of the things that Mary thought about, perhaps at the foot of the cross? That he was her little baby. That she watched him learn how to walk. That she taught him his first words. That she enjoyed all of the things all throughout his life. She pondered those things. She pondered that the shepherds came and worshipped. The wise men brought him gifts. That he was a teacher, even as a child. She pondered those things and how wonderful and how treasured those thoughts were. So I want to be like Mary. I want to ponder the good things, the treasured things. And I challenge you to find the good. If you look, you'll find the good. It's easy to find the bad in this life, guys. It's easy to see the scary things. It's easy to see inflation, and it's easy to see the problems and the rumors of war. It's easy to see all of those things. It's easy to see sickness and disease and hunger. But I challenge you to look for the good things in yourself, in your family, and those around you. And then ponder those things. Treasure those things in your heart. Ponder on those things. Remember those things. Well, guys, that's all I have for you tonight. I hope that I've encouraged you. I really do. That's my goal of speaking to you, is encouraging your hearts to keep going. This is Josie. I love you. I really do. Keep looking well to the ways of your household. Until next time, we're gone.